Welcome, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Daniel Sports Ledger, sports betting tips and picks for sports bettors. And as you know, every week now we will be live betting um, during the morning games here. So super excited about that. Let me get this loading up here real quick. And whoops. And pardon me, not the best start, but yeah, guys. So we will be live betting every week. This is week 2. Last week we did. It took us a while to find a bet, but we did finally find a bet. We did a 3-team live in play bet. $50 would have paid you 535. We definitely hit it, and that was awesome. And yeah, so today we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna be talking about the games. We're gonna be talking about going to be jumping on any kind of live bets that we can jump on today. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Last week was good. Hopefully, hoping for a better stream this week. There will be some times where I take a little break or whatnot, but we will get this going. Right now, you know, got some good money here on the Jets. I mean, pardon me, on the Buffalo Bills. I took them, might have bumped them to minus 13.5 at plus 240. I got a lot of faith in my Buffalo Bills today. They just forced a 3 and out here. Um, Although I did pause it here. So we, yeah, so we're going to be watching these games and checking them out. And, I do have an earpiece today just because I do want to listen to a little bit of my Bills game. And sorry, guys. I want to make sure it's not loud enough to go through this microphone here, as um, I don't want to get canceled or a letter from the NFL or something right now. So I've got games over here and games over here, so you may see me looking around a little bit here and there. Josh Allen on 3rd and 8 with a leap, and he is, oh man, 40-yard run for Josh Allen. Um, Man, Josh Allen clearly the MVP. There is a flag now. Came out kind of late though, so I guess we'll find out what that is. But um, let me know if you guys want to make some comments. If you guys want to come in on the chat, you let me know. I will have the comments here if you guys want to come in and participate in the live stream. We'll see if JB the ticket comes on again this week. We'll see if Joe comes on again this week. But um, I'm sure we'll get some guest on today. And we are gonna let me know if there's certain games you guys want me to be watching or talking about. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I've got all of my games up here. So let me just get my little setup here going here. So I can have
down, back to Theo Johnson. 2 drops last week, already 2 catches today.
Sorry, guys, give me just a second here. Got to get my multi-view up here. I don't know why it's not giving me the multi-view option here. But we'll get this set up. What games are you guys liking? How about Ben Johnson and the Lions this week? All right, Bills going for it early in the game, 4th and 1. They're gonna not kick an easy field goal. Back to Davis again, an easy pickup, 3 yards for Buffalo there. See if I do this. I don't know why it's not giving me. Multi-view option here. I don't know. Does it not allow on computers for the multi-stream? That would be weird. All right, guys. Let's see what we got here. A lot of people on the Bears this week, they're down 7-0. I you know, the Bears really disappointed last week for sure. And that that was not, I don't think that's what we were expecting out of this Bears team. We have to understand though that the Bears, again, they don't quite have that sched. They haven't built up the team like some of these other teams right now. So they are gonna struggle in some games. They are gonna struggle to win close games because they don't have the depth that these other teams have. And as good as Caleb is, well, I mean, I guess the jury's still out on how good he is, but as good as Caleb can be when he is at his best, he you know, it's difficult when you don't have the defense, the offensive line, all the things that you need. Could be a couple years before um before the Bears, and you gotta understand this is Ben Johnson's first year there, and give him a couple drafts to get the kind of guys he wants for his offense. It's not gonna come necessarily right away. I still do like the Bears in a lot of games this year. I think they will have a good season. I'm not sure if they'll make playoffs. Um, but they're gonna win plenty of games, probably somewhere between 7 and 9 games, I feel like this year. Bills first and goal. It looks like on the 1 yard line now. But yeah, I mean, I got a lot of hope in where the Bears are going right now, and the fingernail painter. Got some hope in him, and we'll see what happens here. But I think the Lions, they are driving on the Lions right now, but I do think the Lions are going to be too much for them. There's probably not going to be value in this game for some in play. Although the Bears did just score a touchdown. All right. Literally at the exact same time, Bills score a touchdown, Bears score a touchdown. So it's 7-7 Bears Lions, 7-0 Bills Jets. Again, I told you I took them minus 13.5 plus 240 before the game started. So we're looking pretty good there. It is the Jets. The Bills always destroy the Jets. Um, that's just the way that game goes. Let's see if we can get another game up here. By the way, check out the radio station, or check out Vegas Scoreboard Live podcast radio station in Las Vegas. Oh wow, now the Giants are about to score a touchdown. They're on the 1 yard line. There is a flag, so we'll see what happens, but it did come out kind of late, so might be on the defense here. Let me just check something real quick, guys. Oh, it was Giants are so stupid. Penalty was on the Giants, but I believe it's after the play. Yeah. So they're so stupid though. This guy just kept hammering on Cowboys guy after the play was over. So I don't think it's gonna be on the one now. It's yeah, so instead of being on the 1 yard line, you're on the 16, 17 yard line. Instead of being on the two, they're on the 17. That's just I mean, the Giants just can't get out of their own way. We got Russell Wilson driving here. What do you guys think about Russell? How is he gonna finish the year, or are we gonna see Jackson Dart at some point this year? Um, got to mute my phone. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I mean, you know, if they lose a lot of games, then at some point, I mean, I think we're gonna see Jackson Dart at some point. You're just gonna have to put him in because if the Giants start out. I have to look at their schedule, but if they start out 0-5, 0-6, I mean, you know, 2-7 or something, then at that point you just kind of, you gotta start Jackson Dart and put him in, see what we got going. You know, which kind of stinks for Russell Wilson. Russell's only chance really. Oh, I almost feel like that should have been a penalty. Russell Wilson hit perfect dime. Perfect dime. Hit the guy right in the head. He just didn't turn around and look for it. Um, but it feels like he was trying to turn his head around and he couldn't because the Cowboys guy was grabbing him a little bit. But I have to see the replay on that one. But yeah, I mean, that was a dime by Russell Wilson that just got wasted for nothing. That's way too far. Looks like the Giants are gonna kick a field goal here. Justin Fields just fumble. You can sometimes you can just see a fumble coming, and I could just see that fumble coming. Justin Fields fumbles, Buffalo's ball again. And this is why I took Buffalo minus 13 and a half. I mean, this this isn't even a rivalry. I mean, we just destroyed the Jets. Um, and Joey Bosa forced another fumble. He's the one that forced the fumble for us to come back and win the game last week. Forced another one, just perfect. Dove in there and just slapped that ball out. It was fantastic. Hopefully, my stream. It looks like I wonder if I can change my stream because I think 1080p is going to be too much here for this stream. Um, so we're gonna try here to lower this. Okay, guys, I lowered it to 720p. If you do notice, the quality has gone down a little bit. Um, just for uh, just to get us caught up here, and just for the lag aspect. This is what I want to see. This Jags Bengals game. Now, this is a game I'm not gonna lie. I haven't looked at it yet. I don't know what the score is yet, but I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the Jags might win this game. All right. Now I'm looking. Jags are up 7-0. I swear to you, I hadn't looked yet. I hadn't looked yet. I just feel like this. I'm sold on this Jags team this year, man. As long as Trevor Lawrence, man. Um, as long as he can be who he needs to be, then I'm sold on this Jaguars team. Again, I'm huge fan of the rookie Travis Hunter, and second and goal. Jags might go up 14 here. This is a game maybe you do take Bengals to come back and win. They always start slow. I do think the Bengals are an overall. I mean, are they an overall better team though? That's hard to say actually. I have to take a deep dive into that because you know it's hard to say. The more I think about it, I mean, offensively, they've got the running backs. I mean, the receivers, but you know when you got ETN, um, that makes such a big difference. New England right now is up 6-0 on Miami. What a joke. What a joke Miami is this year. I actually was like, I don't see why people are so down on Miami this year. Um, and Trevor Lawrence just threw a pick in the end zone. So that's the thing. Like I said, I mean, if Trevor Lawrence cannot do those stupid things, if he can be the guy he's supposed to be, um, I like this Jaguars team even for a playoff team, but I mean, this dumb shit that he does, man, It's it's just stupid for Trevor Lawrence. All right, Bills 4th and 8. It looks like they'll have to kick a field goal here after getting the fumble. Okay. I'll make sure that just letting the people know we're live here. All right. Yeah, man. Trevor Lawrence. I just I keep harping on this, but if he doesn't have a huge year this year, ETN and Travis Hunter, it's time to start looking for a new quarterback. I don't know what else to say. What games do you guys have big bets on this week? Patriots up 12-0 now. It looks like they're gonna. I mean, that's one where, I mean, this Dolphins team. I mean, there's no reason they can't come back and win this game, but will they? Will they? Well, Tua trash. Bring them back. All right, let's check out some of these live options here right now. What we have here. All right, let's check out. I do most of my stuff on MGM. So right now you can get Cowboys -2.5. That's actually really good. They're down 3. Bears and Lions, it's probably about the same. Lions are -4.5 now. Bills are -14.5 now. Remember, I got them at -13.5 at +240 before the game started. Um, Ravens up 3-0 on the Browns. Again, this is the Ravens game is one again. I I'm not gonna lie, I do like the the Ravens -11.5. It moved up to 12.5 before game. Um, but I keep telling people this Browns has the best roster. Um, they just don't have the quarterback. And so it's uh it's tough without that quarterback, man. It just shows you like the Browns might come in last in the division and they have the best roster. That just tells you what a quarterback how much a quarterback matters. Let's watch a little bit of this Ravens Browns game. And then as you know, the Jags were about to go up 14 nothing or at least 10 nothing on the Bengals and throw a pick in the end zone. So Patriots up 12-0 because they missed 2 extra points. How soon do we see, Garrett Wilson, right? I mean, did I say Garrett Wilson? What I meant to say was how soon do we see, uh, Dylan Gabriel? That's his name. How soon do we see Dylan Gabriel? I mean, I just you know, Flacco's good and all, but he's not gonna run. He's not gonna he just doesn't have the youth anymore, you know? He's one of those guys that I don't know. You put him in if you don't wanna blow a lead maybe? I don't know, but, like, I just how soon do we see Dylan Gabriel or Shador Sanders? And the thing about Shador is you look at that Colorado team now, I put most of the onus on Travis Hunter, but you look at that Colorado team now in college, and, uh, I thought they would be better because I thought, you know what, he'd probably recruit a really good quarterback, get a really good quarterback in there that's better than Shador, um, and we would see, why wow, heck of a catch and pass by Justin Fields there. But we would see, why Shador was drafted so low because, Colorado would have a great year and stuff. And I really, I really thought Colorado in college football would take a big step this year, but um, you're seeing how much Shador Sanders really did do there, and I, I, I'm excited to see Shador get a chance in the NFL. We'll see. I mean, he definitely needs polishing, but we will see. What he We'll see how good he becomes. But yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be will it be this year we see Shador? Possibly, but I really like Dylan Gabriel. Always been high on him. So I think once Dylan comes in, it might be his team. As long as he can, you know, it doesn't take much. You don't have to play that good. Like I said, I think the Browns have the best roster in the NFL. I mean, not in the NFL, in that division. So you just gotta play decent and you can win some games with the Browns. Because like I said, again, it's that Browns roster is legit. So how long are we gonna have Flacco in? I think if the odds makers are right and the Ravens, pull this off by 14 or more, then or 21 or something like that, then yeah, I think that I think we maybe see a young kid next week, you know. I think we see Dylan next week. I mean, it's almost the end of the first quarter and the Browns have only given up 3 points to the Ravens. It just shows you like this is what I'm saying how good the roster is for the Browns. I mean, their defense is better than the Bills defense. I mean, they just sacked Lamar for like a 15-yard loss, right? This Browns defense is better than the Buffalo Bills defense. Um, their roster is insane. It is so good. And again, I keep saying it, but they have the best roster in the AFC North. They do. They really, really do. So, you know, I'm excited to see when Dylan Gabriel gets in here and, with some youth, a guy that can run for a first down, a guy that can do a few things. Um, I mean, tackle for a loss now. I mean, it's gonna be 3rd and 21 here for the Ravens, and Garrett back to back. I mean, just had a huge sack, then had tackle for loss. I mean, that dude's insane, dude. He's incredible. He's Garrett reminds me of Bruce Smith, man. And I mean, he's the greatest. He's the GOAT, right? I know a lot of people consider Reggie the GOAT, but if you look up the stats, Bruce, he only had 2 more sacks than Reggie, but he had almost double the tackles of Reggie. And he played almost his whole career in a 3-4. Reggie played in a 4-3, meaning obviously you're going 3 guys against 5 guys or 4 guys against 5 guys. Which one do you think is gonna be a little bit easier? Having 4 versus 5, right? Of course, it's gonna be a little easier. So, the fact that Bruce Smith was in a 3-4, which traditionally is you bring the linebackers up to tackle and get the tackle for losses. For him to have double the tackles that Reggie White had, um, Bruce is the greatest. Reggie has the story, um, you know, where it's like he was a preacher and they called him the minister and he died young and everything and he's got the story and I feel like that's why people like to say he's the GOAT. He also did have better playoff appearances, and kind of willed this team to win that, some of those Super Bowls with Brett Favre, but if you look at the overall body of work, Bruce Smith is the GOAT. Hands down, there's no question about it. Look up the stats. Um, he had like even Bruce had like double the forced fumbles. Um, yeah, I mean it's crazy, but it's definitely Bruce Smith, and that's what Miles Garrett reminds me of, man. Oh, something's wrong with Josh Allen. Okay, so they think Josh Allen got punched in the nose. Trubisky's in there on a 3rd and 7. And he throws a dime. And he throws a dime to Josh Palmer. Mitch Trubisky off the bench throws a dime on 3rd and 7 to pick up like 27. Yeah, it's looking like it's Josh's nose. And it was holding on the defense. What a play by Trubisky off the bench. Fires it to the furthest guy downfield. Right off the bench. So yeah, Josh Allen's gonna be okay. It looks like they gotta get his nose stitched up or something. Broken nose or something. The guy got his hand in on the face mask and punched him basically. Not on purpose. It I saw the replay. Nothing looked it didn't look like on it it looked completely on accident. So I'm not saying the guy punched him in the face or something because it totally looked like it was 100% legitimately on accident. But that does seem to be what happened to Allen, the guy just coming in and his hand was just kind of flopping. It wasn't like he was directed or anything like that. It was just kind of his hand got caught up in there. And so as far as the replay I saw, I don't think that there was any malice whatsoever. Um, but yeah, I mean, how long is it gonna take? Because I don't know what the rule is with blood on the NFL. Is like I know in the NBA, you know, it's a big deal, but um, yeah, I mean, a bloody nose or a broken nose, if it's bleeding, that could take a while to stitch it up and get it to stop bleeding. He might have to go back to the locker room, and it might cost him an entire quarter because it's it, you you've got a gland or whatever right there that if it's messed up, it's just gonna bleed until you get that thing sewn up. Um, so that's that's something to watch to see how soon Josh Allen can get back in the game. This Browns team came out and said Derrick Henry wasn't hard to tackle, and if anything, it looks like the Ravens are having a hard time tackling the Browns running back. See what we got. Yeah, see, Bengals tied it up at 7. Um, Lions are on top 14-7 now. Giants are still up 6-0. Yeah, I didn't want to touch this Cowboys game. I'm in a Survivor League, and I was really tempted to take the Cowboys in the Survivor League. I took the Ravens, so um, I'm not liking too much what I'm seeing out of this Ravens team. I knew this was gonna be a tough fight. But you know, I Ravens are up 3-0. As I always say, end the game. But no, because I do have them on another thing. So I do need them to win by like 14, but but yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean this the Survivor League, I took the Ravens this week. I wasn't so sure about this Cowboys team. I just, you know, they looked so good last week. Okay, so Josh Allen's back out there. He's got some cotton in his nose. I don't even know how easy that is to stitch something up in the nose. So they clearly haven't stitched it. Oh, that's a flag, yeah. Um, but you know, it, if that's something they can do at halftime, I'm sure that's what they'll do at halftime. Some kind of minor surgery, some kind of stitch his nose up because that cotton ball is not going to hold for the first. That cotton ball is not going to hold for the whole game. He'll probably have to replace it after every drive. Um, yeah, they oh, they just called holding, not pass interference, but either way, it was clearly a penalty on the Jets. Oh, we got the stupid spammer here. NFL game streaming on NFL HD. Please don't click on this guy's link, this spammer's link. It's just gonna get computer viruses. Don't click on that. See what other games we got. Let's go back to this Jags Bengals game, man. I gotta see my boy Travis Hunter play some more. So Trevor Lawrence should be up 14 or at least 10 to nothing, and now it's 7-7 because of a stupid pick he threw in the end zone. See if Hunter has any catches right now. Yeah, 3 receptions for Hunter, 4 targets. So they're targeting him constantly. ETN with a huge run, about a 31 yard run for Travis Etienne right there. Bills kicking another field goal here. This is a 52-yarder for the Bills. And he barely snuck it in, so Bills up 13-0 now. And I believe it's still Matt Prater for Buffalo. I think their kicker's still hurt. Yep, still Matt Prater, the hero from last week. That's such a crazy story about Matt Prater and them lifting him up. That was, man, that last Buffalo last week was just unbelievable. All right, let's see if Lawrence can avoid throwing another pick in the end zone. And we got a easy touchdown, man. Those Bengals don't play defense. I would run that play on them all day long. Just a little screen, basically, I guess you would call it. It's not really a screen, but sort of, to that halfback in the backfield, and then he just makes one simple move and just a little juke, and he runs in untouched for the touchdown. So 14-7 for the Jaguars. Again, should probably be a bigger laps. That tells me a lot about this Jaguars team though, because in the past they throw a pick in the end zone at 7-7. They kind of they don't come right back and score. I'll say that. And the fact that they came right back and scored, that's a good sign for the Jaguars this year. Very good sign for the Jaguars. Let's see. Dolphins did score a touchdown, so it is 7-12. 7 Seahawks, 6 Steelers. And the Ravens, oh, we turned it away and they got a touchdown. It is 10-0 Ravens now. So it looks like the Ravens are going to start being the Ravens. Let's see how that happened real quick, because that matters. That's one thing. When people see score changes, you really need to, especially if you're going to be live betting, you really need to look at how a score was done. If it was a pick six, it could have been very fluky. Could have been a fluky pick six. Um, and you know, sometimes that doesn't really reflect a real good touchdown. So right here, Lamar Jackson passed to Wallace for a 15-yard touchdown. And sometimes you want to click on the drive here and really see what happened. Okay, so they punted. Dang, Derrick Henry fumbled on that drive again and was picked up by Wallace, and then Lamar threw Wallace the touchdown. So, I think they must have had a big return. Oh, that's what happened. They blocked the punt. See, they blocked the punt. They were in easy field. They were already in field goal range. Ran a couple plays and scored a touchdown. So, how much value do you put on a touchdown like that? Yeah, I mean, again, I just think that this we gotta get Flacco out of the game. You know what I mean? I mean, not today, probably, but next week, it's got to be Dylan Gabriel. If they get blown out, or even I won't say blown out, but they lose by foot. If the Ravens cover today, which is 13, 14 points, um, depending on where you got them, 12 to 14 points, whatever. If the Ravens cover today, I just feel like um, you got to get, young Buck in there. You got to get Dylan Gabriel because that's the one thing about it's 3rd and 7 right now, and one thing you don't have to worry about is Joe Flacco like running for the first down. You know what I mean? Um, you don't have to spy the guy. You don't have to do anything. Um, but then again, that was a heck of a pass to Judy right there for a first down. So you do have that on 3rd and 7. Um, that was a great. I mean, he threw it too high, but still a good pass by Flacco. So not that Dylan Gabriel couldn't have thrown that pass either, but um, the decision making and getting that out there quick enough. Uh, I just think ultimately on a 3rd and 7, I just feel like I would rather have Dylan Gabriel out there. A guy that can run with the ball and do some dynamic things, or if somebody's chasing him, he can run faster than the other guy. You know what I mean? And still get a pass off or whatever. Where Flacco, he's taking a couple steps and he's sacked. He's not running anywhere. You're not running anywhere, Flacco. You're gonna try to run a couple steps and that's gonna be it. We'll be taking a short break here, probably in about 10 minutes. Flacco is driving though. They're on the 40. 3rd and 8 though. It's 3rd and 8. Oh, Judy dropped it. That wouldn't have been a first down, but they could have either gone for it on 4th and 1 or had a much easier field goal. And he absolutely dropped it. It hit him right on the top of the number 3, and he dropped it. By the way, get the t-shirt. Let's make some money. Let's have some fun doing it at D Sports Ledger. So that's on the website. It's amazing cups on the website. We got the hoodies on the website. Best hoodies ever. Best hoodies ever. For winter's coming. Um, so get your sweater hoodie. We got the ones for the girls too, right? The zip up ones. So, you know, I learned that dating a lot of girls, man. They oh, I don't like the ones that you pull over because it messes up my hair, so they want the girls want the zip up hoodies so that, they don't mess up their hair. So that's why I call those the girl ones. First down, Keon Coleman for the Buffalo Bills. Um, I just feel like this is like gonna be a slow a slow what do you call it? Like a slow death here for the Jets. I just feel like it's gonna be a lot of long, slow drives. Right now it's 13 nothing. They're gonna score another. It's gonna be 20 nothing, but then it's gonna be almost the second quarter. Then it might be, you know, 23 at the end of half. And then by the end of the game, it's like 50-10 or something. I just feel like the Bills are just, it's not a bunch of fast scores. It's a bunch of slow, methodical, going down the field touchdowns. And you're like, oh, we're still in the game. We're still in the game. And then it's like, but then the Bills just keep scoring on every drive. Yeah, Keon Coleman, man, I heard he put a lot of work in for Buffalo um in the offseason. And I feel like he felt a little embarrassed after that first season. And and some of it was injuries, but he also didn't look like the guy he was drafted to be. And oh man, they were just doing an update. Oh my goodness, what a move by James Cook, and he is gone for a touchdown. Oh, that's gonna be on Sports Center. James Cook just juked this guy's socks off, man. Get somebody go get him a pair of socks. Can somebody get that guy a pair of socks because he just lost them. And they had him by the foot. 2 touchdowns for James Cook now. 2 rushing plays of 40 plus yards today for James Cook. I have him on a little pick six thing. Over 46 and a half. So that's already hit. Oh no, I don't have him actually. But what I did have was Josh Allen over 35 and a half yards rushing, and he already has that. So they're 8 deep in their own territory for the Ravens now. That was dumb. That was a dumb play by Lamar. That's the kind of reasons why he's not gonna win a Super Bowl. Stupid stuff like that. We got a barn burner here, 6-3. Giants and the Cowboys. Give me 1 minute, guys. I will be right back. Let me put up my sign here. Oh, be right back, guys. Oh, Giants scored. It's 13-3 now over the Cowboys. All right, let's get back to 15-7 now for the Patriots over the Dolphins. Oh, that hurt. Oh my goodness. Bishop popped this Jets guy after an 8-yard run. And I mean popped him. Oh, he popped Justin Fields right in the rib. Luckily, he's got that extra padding right there. So it's 20-0 Buffalo. End the game. Jets are driving that midfield. Rams 10, Tennessee Titans 3. We got New England 15-7 over Dolphins. Right. See, see if maybe my brother wants to come on, talk some Cardinals. Oh, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's going to the sidelines. Joe Burrow's going to the oh man, he's going to the locker room. Hey, Nita Bear came. Nita Bear. Come say hi to the people. Oh, Nita Bear came. You want to say hi to everybody? This is Nita. Nita, Nita Bear. My mom, my mom, my mom thought I was saying Nita Beer instead of Nita Bear. Yeah. What's going on? No spider webs today? She always gets spider webs on her face. Never know where she's at, but she always seems to find spider webs. She just loves it. Yeah. She's just having a good day. I was wondering where she went. When I first came in this morning, she chased me in here and then she disappeared for a while. So, in case you're wondering, she is. I don't know how this happens, but apparently she is golden retriever, wiener dog, and corgi. I don't know how that works, but she wants down. There you go. She's just checking on me. Jets got a field goal, so it's 20-3 now. Nick Folk. So I'm not sure what happened to Burrow, but he's still out of the game, I believe. He's still. Yeah, so they got Browning in there. Let me see if I can find out what happened to Joe Burrow. Unless you know, you can write it in the comments. Oh, that's weird. There's no. Normally, this thing has information on it, but I'll have to go somewhere else. See what happened here. Yeah, so he had a leg injury. Okay, so it looks like they're still evaluating him. But he couldn't put any weight on his leg. Guess we'll get an update here soon. But yeah, Joe Burrow's out of the game. Browning just threw a strike though. On 3rd and 18, picked up 16. So they're down 7 without Burrow. Do you go for this 4th and 2, or do you kick a field goal? Burrow sucks. Jags win easy. You know I love the Jags. You want to get in, Joe? I'll send you the invite. In case you want to. You don't have to. I finally got the camera thing fixed. I couldn't figure it out. They're kicking a field goal. So it's going to be 10-14. 14-10. Jags are still up. Let me get this invite sent to Joe, see if he wants to come in. All right. Um, trying to remember your email, Joe. I know it's uh, all right. What's the maybe I can send it. Yeah, coming in the second half. Let's see. Hold on, Joe. All right, I'm gonna look. There we go. I found your email. I don't know why it doesn't pop up when I write that in, but do I have you on? Oh, I don't think I have you on Facebook, Joe. But I did send it to your email. So yeah, no, I looked it. I looked it up. But who you got, Joe? You got any? You got any bets? We're still looking for a live bet here on the show. I just don't. I didn't. I normally like to do a 2-3 teamer, but I just didn't like a lot of games today. Um, and it looks like for good reason. Um, did you? Are you in the? See if you're still on. Yeah, you're still on. Are you in the Survivor League with us, Joe? With Manny Survivor League? Oh, you parlayed Jags and Raiders at 158. That's a good one. Especially now that Burrow's out, huh? That doesn't hurt you any. I noticed they're starting to do some of these, I think it's FanDuel or DraftKings now, they're starting to do like if the star player gets hurt, you get your money back. It's like you have to like select like a injury bet kind of thing. And I don't know if you have to pay for it. I don't know if it's insurance. I know they're doing it. I believe they have like a free one, but I don't know if they're gonna do it more than that. But I think it's a good way for them to make money, to be honest. Um, but yeah, they're starting to do that where like if the quarterback gets hurt, you can get your money back. Big parlay is Dallas. Dallas is losing. Ravens, Lions, Bills, Rams are up. Bills are up. Chargers. Okay. Gonna hammer Gentry, yeah. Debo anytime touchdown? Hmm. All right, here's Joe. Joe's parlay. Put it up there for the people to see. Yeah, in the Survivor League, I thought, okay, yeah, so it is 13-10 now. So the Cowboys did just score a touchdown. But yeah, in the Survivor League, I thought about taking Cowboys this week, but I just wasn't convinced. You know, I feel like they played better than they were last week, and I wasn't buying the Kool-Aid on the Cowboys. I took Ravens in the Survivor League, um, which is oops, sorry, trying to get rid of that. I don't know why it's okay. Yeah, I took Ravens in the Survivor League. I wasn't buying the Cowboys. I thought about a lot of teams. Thought about Cardinals this week. Obviously, they're playing the worst team in the league, the Panthers. Um, Lions up 21-7 right now. I thought, yeah, Dolphins coming back 15-14 now in that game. Patriots missed 2 extra points. And Steelers up 14-7. Yeah, some good college games yesterday, Joe. USC thumped Purdue as expected. They didn't cover though. A lot of the teams didn't cover. Me and JB the ticket talked about LSU last night, and I pretty much predicted the game. Or not last night, I mean on the radio yesterday morning. I said it would be one of those where you get all the way to the end and you're not sure if LSU was gonna cover. I thought they would cover, but it's gonna be one of those games that sports bettors hate, where you're just kind of biting your fingernails off, and that's what happened. Yeah, no, Notre Dame lost by one. Yeah, Notre Dame lost by one, Joe. Not They didn't win by one. They lost by one. Final play of the game, basically, for the Texas A&M scored a touchdown. Yeah, yeah, it was pretty crazy. That was intense. It was literally one play. It was fourth down. It was they score a touchdown and win, or they don't and lose. And I believe it was first and goal too, but it was like a long first and goal. And yeah, they threw a touchdown pass. They snuck it in there just barely. Browns are driving. They're on the 20 in the red zone. 4th and 2 though. They're going for it. It looks like. We'll see. Flacco might just try to get them off sides. That's what it looks like. He's just trying to draw them off sides. Just doing a bunch of motions. Yeah. They'll probably kick a field goal. Yeah, but Josh Allen went out of this game for a little bit, Joe. He got punched in the nose. Totally accidental, but the guy got his hand in there and hit him in the nose. So he's probably gonna have to get stitches or something at halftime because oh, he's got the cotton ball out of his nose now. So maybe it stopped bleeding. I don't know, but yeah, it was 3rd and 7. He came out of the game, and then Mitch Trubisky threw it to the furthest guy downfield, picked up 27 yards right off the bench. Oh man, pass interference on the Bills on offense. Yeah, they're kicking a 38-yard field goal for the Brownies right now, and it's 10-3. Um, oh, the Niners was another one I thought about taking in the Survivor League. They're up 9-7 right now on the Saints. I know that they don't have their quarterback, but I still thought that they would be better than the Saints team. We'll see. We'll see. They're up 9-7. It's a long game. Lions are about to score, maybe just did. Oh, clicked on the wrong game. Lions penalty. Yeah, this is kind of a boring day, Joe. This is definitely a more boring day for the NFL. Titans in the red zone. Saints did score. Titans did score too. Okay, so Rams and Titans are 10-10 now. And see if there's anything worth live betting yet. We guys think of this Eagles Chiefs game tonight. Cowboys -2.5 still, down 3. It's -140 though, so there's no value in that. Bills are -19.5. Remember, I got them -13.5 at +240. Jaguars -3.5. That's pretty good without Burrow in there, and they're up 7. You know, you could even bump that up. I think that's something to bump up right there. Bump them up to -6.5, and see what that looks like here in a second. Lions -10.5 at -105. And they're up 14. I like that. Let's get that in. All right, we got Lions right now, minus 10.5. They're at 14. All right, let's put that on here. Lions minus 10.5. Um, all right. That's what we're looking at right now. All right, let's get this on. Let's see if I can get. Is there a way to do? No, I think I'm just gonna leave it how I just had it here. All right, that's what we're looking at right now. So they did just score a touchdown on us. So it's going to be 14-21 here, but I don't care that they scored a touchdown. I still think that the Lions run away with this. And might even have to double down on this real quick. Let's see. Okay, so it dropped down to 9.5 at minus 115. I'm okay with the 10.5 at minus 105 or minus 110. So yeah, we're fine there. I don't, it's not worth doubling down at minus 115 in my opinion. So we'll just if it had gone to, minus 7, minus 6.5, something like that, then maybe I'd double down, but so that's what we're looking at for today. That's our live bet for today. see here. Yeah. We got our live betting, baby. Got a big pickup there by the Lions. About 8 yards, but still. See, and they got time to drive down here and at minimum get a field goal, but we could definitely get a touchdown here for the Lions right now. All right, halftime for the Bills, 20-3. Jets had a huge run, got down to midfield, but could not quite get into field goal range with 31 seconds. Goff. Ooh, okay, Goff, I see you. Goff with a little shimmy shimmy to the side, avoids the tackler. Throws a dime right on the money for a first down. Still a lot of time. They're not even using their timeouts right now. Goff another dime. Okay, they're past midfield now. That should be a timeout right there. So it's gonna be 47 seconds. One timeout, and they can get down, either get a touchdown or at minimum a field goal here. Need about 15 yards for a field goal. For a comfortable field or a semi-comfortable field goal. Might experiment with my camera next week. Maybe I'll try to, because I do tend to be looking this way a lot, so maybe try to zoom it this way a little bit better for you guys. But not that you want to see my face that much, anyways. So here we go. Goff, okay, field goal range plus a few yards. Okay, they're gonna get up there real quick, snap another play. It's 2nd and 2. You know, when you call a timeout, hopefully they got 2 or 3 plays ready. Can't get to the sideline, but they picked up a yard, maybe 2, depending on the spot. It's gonna be 3rd and 1 here. So they called their last timeout. So it's looking more likely a field goal here right now. So that'll put us up 10. We'll be fine. You know, if we waited a second, we could have got this at 9.5, but I'm okay. Like I said, I'm okay with 10.5. I think the Lions are, easily gonna win this game by 14 plus. Probably 17 plus, let's be honest. I probably, should have bumped that up to like Lions minus 13.5 and got even better odds, but all right, first down. What's with people wearing 0? Keon Coleman wears 0. Joshua Gibbs for the Lions wears 0. I could never wear 0 as an athlete. I couldn't do it. So at this halftime here, I'm gonna take a little break. Oh my goodness. Sports Center Tesla with a one-handed catch on the 2-yard line for the Lions. Oh my goodness. Well, 3-yard line apparently. I think he was more like the 2. I think that's what Jared Goff's saying. Like, we should be at the 2 right now, not the 3. It's 1st and goal. Something happened. They're changing something. I think they are moving it up to the 2. Let's see. What? Now they're saying there's no time left in the quarter. Oh, they had to spike it? I think this might be halftime. They might get nothing out of that catch. I thought he went out of bounds though. Oh no, technically he was tackled in bounds. And it was more like the 4 than the 3. Okay, they put 6 seconds back on the clock. So now they have time to even go for the end zone instead of a field goal. This is wild here. Yeah, I think they called that he did go out of bounds. I think that he wasn't touched until he was out of bounds. Wow, that's crazy. All right, first and goal. Touchdown Lions. Ooh, we are looking good. Lions minus 10.5, minus 110. Live bet. Let's go. Amon St. Brown. All right, guys, we are going to take a short break and I will be back. Joe is going to come on here soon, so a little more excitement than just myself. Trying to build this up to where I get more guests and more interaction and more people. It's going to take some time, but I'm hoping by mid-season here we get this into something really fun and really exciting. But right now, you got me mostly. So just grinding and putting in that work, man. I hope you guys appreciate that. Um, oh, is that what I'm supposed to do? Let's see if that works now. Okay, interesting. Okay, we'll mess with that here in a minute. Let's get let's get this going here. I'll be back just a few minutes, all right, guys. All right. So my earpiece went. Okay. Okay. Buffalo gets the ball in the second half. Cook is cooking them, man. Cook is cooking them. You see it, and when Joe Burrow went out, we could have taken this Jaguars at -3.5, but we didn't. Because you got to really understand what's happening in the game. And Jamar Chase is going off in this game. The backups is playing good, and the Bengals are driving here, and I don't trust the Jaguars. Um, Clearly Vegas doesn't. That's why they're still giving us -3.5 when they're up 7. Um, for the Jaguars. So yeah, I mean, hey, my brother might come on. We might get some. We might get some Cardinals information. Let's see if I can get my brother on here. And I'll tell you what, we get this thing going, and this is going to be the most fun podcast. It really is. I know it's just me. I know I'm kind of boring at times, but you know, if I can get people coming on here, if I can get you guys coming on, I'm gonna have to send him another one because he might not understand that. Just- I must send him another one because I know my brother. He's gonna be like, "What is that?" All right. All right. All right. So we'll see if my brother will come on. But yeah, it looks like the Bengals just got a touchdown. So oh nope, he only got 1 foot down. So they're kicking a field goal. Oh no, they did get a touchdown. The hell was that? Yeah, it looked like he was in, but it's tied at 17, and that's the thing, man. Like, this is why you come on here and you see how a professional live bets because we took the Lions right when the Bears were about to score. We didn't get the best line. I could have got slightly better line, but I would have got it -115 instead of -110. But could have got 9.5 instead of 10.5, but I wasn't worried about it. In fact, the one mistake I did make was not bumping it up to -13.5 and then getting even better odds. That was the mistake I made, not getting 10.5 instead of 9.5. The mistake I got was not bumping it above 10.5, even though that they were scoring and the Lions were only gonna be up by 7, which is what happened. And then, yeah, we got lucky at the end of the game there. I mean, at the end of the half to get another touchdown. But regardless of that touchdown, even if we were up 7 instead of 14 at half, I'd still feel comfortable, even at a minus 13.5. So that's why you come on here because, like I said, I mean, we could have had Jags without Joe Burrow at minus 3.5, up 7. But I didn't go that route because I'm watching the game and I'm watching the progression of how things are going. And even with the backup, this Bengals team could win or keep it within 3. I mean, so it's one of those things. 4th and 4, Bills are kicking a 33-yard field goal. The hero Matt Prater again, and it's 23. So Bills are up 20 now. Um Not a huge fan of that, but I'll take all the points I can get. But yeah, so but that's why you hire somebody that's like me. That's why you trust somebody like me because I'm gonna get you where you need to be, and I'm gonna get you on the right game. Last week we did a 3-team parlay. It hit. $50 would have paid you 535. $100, 1,070. You know what I mean? So, um, that's why you get somebody like myself to help you. And it's important who you listen to, you know. It's definitely important who you listen to. Looks like the Ravens got a pick. I don't know if it was a pick 6 or see if we can rewind this a little bit. I'm excited. You guys are gonna love hearing my brother speak. Not that he's a great orator or nothing like that, but the way he thinks, man, it's him and I we think similar, but like on opposite ends kind of. It's and he looks at it as a coaching perspective. He looks at a coaching perspective of this stuff. So clearly my Wi-Fi is struggling here a little bit. Let's see if we can push this back just a little bit. See if that will help us out a little bit. I don't see any issues on the podcast, but on the games I can see that it's getting a little hard. Third and goal, baby. Come on. I need a Derrick Henry touchdown. And they said he wasn't hard to tackle, so I feel like Derek's gonna wanna prove them wrong here and get a touchdown. All right, Derek. This has got to be Derek Henry. They got to be handing this off to Derek Henry here. He's got to be pissed about what they said this week. You know this is going to Henry. No. Oh, touchdown. No. Oh, he should have thrown it to Henry for the touchdown. He threw it to the wrong guy. Now it's 4th and goal. Henry was right. He was right there, and he threw it past Henry. Even Henry went up for the ball. Even. I mean, either that was a bad pass to Henry or just a stupid pass. I mean, either way, it's dumb. All right, 4th and goal. Just hand this to Henry. Henry's not even. Oh yeah, he's in the game. Give it to Henry. Ah, they scored a touchdown though. That's what we needed. We need a touchdown. They're going to be at 23 here for the Ravens. I am surprised they didn't just hand the ball to Henry though. That's crazy. And they could have passed it to Henry on both of those touchdowns. Well, maybe not the second one, but let's see if my brother texts me. Might have to call my brother and walk him through it, but of course he's on the road, so you might get some crappy audio from him. We'll see. Man, that wasn't he didn't call for a fair catch? Let's see what else we got here. So in the side in my Survivor League, Manny took the Cowboys. Um, got a Rams, we got the Dolphins, we got a Cardinals, another Cowboys, another Cardinals, the Colts, and then I have the Ravens. So I think a lot of people are going to drop out of the Survivor League this week. Let's see. Rams were winning, but I think it's tied now. Let's check out what's going on in the Survivor League here. Rams are tied with the Titans. Cowboys are still losing. Cardinals haven't played. Dolphins are up now, 17-15. I think the Colts just got an interception. Oh, no, Colts haven't played yet. Oh, that's the Rams. The Rams just got an interception. So that helps that guy. So, yeah, we'll see. If the Cowboys, we're going to lose 2 at least if the Cowboys go down. Yeah, I knew not to buy into the Cowboys this week. I just they're not as good as they played last week, man. They're just not. I think they had a lot to prove with Parsons leaving and just being the first game, and I don't know. I feel like they really came out and played their hardest. I mean, I think that's the best you're gonna see of them. Flacco, another completion, but Flacco's passes keep going really high. People just have to jump for every pass he throws. All right, my brother's trying to get on. I could just put him on speakerphone, but Allen down the field. Josh Palmer, dude, he's gonna be a star for us, man, this year. I just think we got to get rid of first down, but I just think we got to get rid of Flacco. I mean, this next week, like I said, if the Ravens cover. Oh, here we go. Red Bird, he said. Okay. There's my. What is up, brother?
Hey, not too much. Just,
Hold on, sorry. What is up?
not too much. Just
You got a Seattle shirt on, and you hate the Seahawks.
Yeah, well, that's the daughter went to nationals for soccer there. Picked up a shirt. Just a reminder. But yeah, reminder of how much I hate that place. Actually, a nice place to visit. Yeah, I would like the Seahawks if they weren't in my division.
That's true. I like. Yeah, we grew up. The Seahawks weren't in the Cardinals division.
Yeah, they're in the AFC.
Yeah.
back
Yep.
in the day with
And,
was it
and
Sargent?
the Colts. The Colts used to be in the Bills division
Yeah.
in the day.
Who was that
Yeah.
good receiver? Was that Sargent or something like that? That
Yeah,
little
for the
receiver
Seahawks.
that was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, there
really
was
good.
Steve Largent, but I
Oh
think
yeah,
he's
that's
too
what I'm
young.
talking about. That's what.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think he's before our time, though, isn't he?
Oh, he is. But man, if you got a little history and look back, you might as well do it, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's one of the
Steve
greats of the
Largent
game.
was the man, though.
You don't have guys like that. You don't have the NFL like it is. Sorry if I'm working a little bit. If that's okay.
That's
Need me to
true.
stop? Let me know. So, what do you
Yeah.
think about the games going? The Bills look like they're hammering the Jets.
Yeah, 23-3 as expected. The Ravens up 20-3 on the Browns. I mean, I feel like we got to get Flacco out of there. We got to get somebody that can run the ball on a 3rd and 7, or escape the pocket or something. Flacco. He's taking 2 steps and he's caught. That dude,
Yeah.
Flacco's my age. I'm 43. Flacco's what, 40, 42 maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. He needs to go back, have the old, Ravens thing, back like the Trent Dilfer style. Like he's got to have a really good defense, a good running offense.
Oh no, they had that. I mean, I think the Browns. I've been saying all year on this podcast that the Browns have the best. They have the best roster in the AFC North. Better,
You think so?
but I do. But they still might end up being last in the AFC North because they don't have the quarterback. You know what I mean?
Well,
Joe Burrow, though, it looks like he got hurt. He got a leg injury.
turf
he's
toe thing.
Yeah, he's out of the game. I don't know. Oh, is it turf toe?
I think they said it was a toe. I don't know if they said turf toe, but that's what comes to mind.
Oh, I heard it looked like it's leg. If it's turf toe, that's 4 to 6 weeks. But if it's something else,
I saw something that said leg, but then I heard toe, so I don't know
Okay.
which it is. I don't know for sure.
It's like the Bills are going for it on 4th and 1 right now, or at least trying to draw them off. No, they went for it, and Allen picked up 8, and there's a penalty. I don't know what that was. Maybe a face mask on Allen or something. But Allen went out of the game for a minute. And
I saw there was a 30-yard pass. What happened there?
Yeah, Allen went out of the game. Trubisky, it was 3rd and 7. Trubisky just threw it to the furthest guy downfield and hit like a 27-30 pass on 3rd and 7. Trubisky got in about 5 or 6 plays, I think, at least. So Allen got punched in the nose. Not in my opinion, I don't think it was intentional at all. Not even like a fake intentional or anything, you know what I mean? Where like you're doing it, but you're faking it.
Yeah.
No, it looked absolutely just coincidental, 100%. But yeah, the guy just was coming in on Allen and was swiping his arm and got it inside the helmet and hit him. It wasn't closed fist or anything. It was just kind of a backhand kind of thing. So yeah, I don't think there was any intention whatsoever from what I saw. But yeah. So he was out though. He was out like 5 or 6 plays at least.
Yeah, see that's kind of a expected and unexpected for me. I mean, for a Buffalo Bill, I mean he's getting back. A punch in the face ain't going to do nothing to you. But to not be back in one play for a Buffalo Bill and Josh Allen, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe he's getting soft.
What the heck? The Bills just fumbled. Looks like we got it back. It was one of those weird fumbles where it looks like the guy just drops the ball. Like, Flacco's still driving. It's 3rd and 7, but they're basically in the end. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, they're on the 23-yard line, so pretty much the red zone. Okay, so they'll kick a field goal or they'll go for it on 4th and 3. See what happens.
I kind of I think Tony Romo's doing the announcing on that one, right?
On the Bills, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of thought I agreed with him that they were going to go for it on the Jets. You know, I know it was on their own 28, but there gets a point in the game where you're either trying
the
to
one
win
where
it.
he got a fake punt or something.
Yeah, he didn't go for it. They punted it. It was the Jets' last punt, you know, or possession.
Yeah, I heard him saying that he thought they would fake punt.
Yeah, I thought they would too. I know it was a bad spot in the field, but the way that the Bills are moving the ball, like if you want, I guess if you don't want to get beat by 40 compared to 30, then I guess that's an issue. But I still say you try to win games until the fourth quarter, you know, regardless.
Allen sneaks out. Oh man, 3rd and 3. They had Allen dead to rights. He had a little spin move and picked up the first down pretty easy.
Was that a 3rd or a 4th down?
3rd and 3. They're about to score. It's 1st and goal on the 7 now or something like that.
Yeah.
5 or 10 actually. I'm not sure. I know it was at a 5-yard mark, but so I don't know if it's 1st and goal 5. I think.
You know, this game's pretty expected, where, you know, kind of what I thought. I kind of thought, and I don't know about you, but I kind of thought that the Bills, or not the Bills, the Lions Bears is a very interesting game. Not that I really care much about them. I do like the Lions a little bit. But Caleb Williams, I know he threw an interception, but he's moving that ball down the field.
Yeah, well, Lions are now up 31-14. That's our live bet. Lions 10.5.
Oh, they just scored?
Field goal.
Oh, field goal.
They scored right at the end of the half. They kind of got lucky.
That.
Yeah, they kind of got lucky there, but yeah.
But it's interesting because the Bears, they've got a lot of talent. They've had a lot of first-round picks, a lot of, you know, draft picks. It's kind of curious to see where they're going to go and whether Caleb Williams will actually be the quarterback that people hoped. But I know there's people on both sides of the coin on that one. But the Lions, to me, I'm curious because they didn't look so good last week. And the Bears were in the game to start. Maybe they'll start pulling away and they'll start being the team we think they should be this year. But what are your thoughts on whether they're going to be that team or they're going to have a setback?
I don't think the Lions will have a setback. I mean, I know they didn't look best last week, but this week they're showing up. They're showing, you know, week ones are weird. Week ones can be super weird.
They can be.
People aren't necessarily fully in shape. You know, they're not in, you know, it takes till, I mean, I was listening to a podcast of an NFL player the other day, and he talked about how really to be in game shape, it's week 4, week 5 by the time you're really in game shape for the season, even with training camp and everything.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And so you have that issue, and then you have, you know, this didn't necessarily happen, but sometimes we didn't really get this year, which is weird. But normally in a week 1, you have some team pull out a few trick plays or something and get like an upset win, which that didn't happen. But I mean, yeah, I mean, who was it? The Lions played the Packers, right?
Yeah. Which is a solid roster. Packers.
Yeah, and the Packers had all that excitement and hype over getting Micah Parsons, and you know they almost made the Super Bowl last year. I mean they're a solid team. The Packers, you know, keep building. Bill's touchdown.
Nice.
Rondé or Elijah Moore, they did a little screen with a wide receiver screen. Good old Madden play right there. The guy runs around, you hand it off to the receiver, and he runs it in. Not wide receiver screen. End around. They call it.
Oh, nice.
A little end around to Elijah Moore, and he ran it in. I mean, he could have taken 3 lanes and scored.
Yeah.
He probably if he would have cut in earlier, he probably could have scored 3 seconds earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but yeah, I mean, and so that Packers team, they were full of hope and hype and everything, and I wouldn't put too much, and I didn't put a lot of onus on that first game for the Lions.
And that's exactly where I'm kind of going with this whole thing. Is the fact that and I think the Lions are actually, by what they've done so far in the second half, we'll see how the game finishes, are exactly where we think they are. But how many times you watch these teams come in and 49ers is a team like this. They're usually a hot and cold team. They're good one year, bad the next, great the next. So they're contending usually every other year, outside of their dynasty type years and their bad years. But this is the thing: is you get into the game, into the season, and all of a sudden you start making excuses. Oh, they're better. It's just this. You know what I mean? And they don't pass. They don't pass the eyeball test. And you start just giving them. Next thing you know, they're not even in the playoffs. But I think this is different with the Lions. I was concerned at halftime, actually up to that last touchdown, really, because that looked pretty good. There was a little luck involved, of course, but being out of bounds. But that being the case, I think they're a team to watch next 2 or 3 weeks and find out really whether they're taking that next step. And honestly, one of the big things too with this whole thing is, are Green Bay the team to beat this year? Like, they really could be the better team in that division than the Lions. And I don't count week one. I'm with you. Bruce Arians, he would say every year to his players, teams get better. They get better from week 1 to week 2 than any other part of the year. And they should. That's the week there should be the biggest growth of any team in the NFL, is week 1 to week 2. And I believe it, I think, but anyways, that was kind of my thoughts on that game. I think that is an interesting game only because the Lions are a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
I mean, one of probably like 5 or 6 teams out there. So, so they may or may not be. We'll keep an eye on them the next 3 or 4 weeks. But
overall, I mean, if the teams stay healthy, I think the Lions would beat the Packers in a playoff game. I think the roster is just overall better a little bit. But the Packers, like you say, I mean, I could see Bills Packers. No, I mean, I could see a Packers being in the Super Bowl. I mean, it's. I tell you, man, that quarterback is good, and he's still young. So as long as he doesn't make any young mistakes in the playoffs, I could see that happening. Their defense is top notch.
Yeah.
My issue with them is, we know the Lions, you know what I mean, can be in a game where they win 55-54, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Packers aren't winning 55-54. You know what I mean?
So
if they give up some plays, they're not getting back in that game. I mean, they might, but it's I just if you have a really high scoring game and the Lions just scored a wide open touchdown, if you have a wide open game, then I mean, sorry, not a wide open game. If you have a high scoring game, then I like the Lions much more than I like the Packers. If it's a low scoring game and it's down to one drive, then maybe the Packers pull it through. But
I'm with you on one exception, and that is, it could be a high scoring game and the Packers win, because Jared Goff has got that game in him every year, usually 2, where he's throwing 4 picks, and 2 of those could be pick sixes. I mean, it could be where, and that's really what happened to him at the end of the year, if I remember right, last year, is he had an awful game. I know Sam Darnold did, But I will tell you this, it's going to be some exciting football in that division. And that could be, it's my preseason pick of the toughest conference in the league. I think that's the best conference in the league with the Vikings. My only hesitant was whether McCarthy's what kind of quarterback he's going to be with the Vikings this year.
National championship winning
Yeah.
JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
But
same guy. That's an excellent division.
I'm a huge Michigan fan. I'm not totally sold on McCarthy, although that last game, him coming back and winning that was impressive. But it was against the Bears. And here's the thing about the Bears. I think the Bears are good. The Bears are, if everything goes well with the nail painter, Caleb Williams, and and he stays healthy, and Ben Johnson stays there, they don't do some idiotic thing where they fire him because maybe he has a bad season. Then you give Ben Johnson a few drafts to get his offense going. You build up that defense a little bit better. Bears don't have a great defense. That's a huge issue right there. But I just feel like the Bears, if give them a couple of years to build a team, get some free agents, get some draft picks, build a culture, then they could be something special. But right now, and this is what I always tell people. Let's say Caleb Williams is, just for the sake of argument, let's say he's has the ability to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Okay. Let's just say he's one of those, ends up being one of those top tier quarterbacks. And let's say that's what you think of him right now. Say you're a Bears fan and you're like, this guy, he's a top 5, top 10 quarterback, or he will be, get the offensive line or whatever, So let's just say that's your opinion of Caleb Williams, top 10, top 5 QB.
Yeah.
So, but you don't just put one of those guys on a team that's been bad for a long time and start being good. You know what I mean? Like, you still have to build your roster. It's still going to take you. It's just like with Josh Allen and the Bills. It's been 7-8 years, right? But the Bills back then were so bad before they got Josh Allen. I could hardly stomach them. And I've been a diehard Bills fan for 30 plus years. I could hardly stomach watching their games. I would turn them off. You know what I mean? I just couldn't stand watching them. And it's taken them 7-8, years to where at least, it took us 4 or 5 years, right, to get to the point where we're like, okay, Josh Allen's the man and we're a Super Bowl contender. And it still hasn't happened the last 3 or 4 years. But, I feel, and I think everybody feels, Josh Allen's is going to break through eventually and win a Super Bowl. But it took years for them to build this roster, right? And they've lost some guys and stuff, but they still have guys behind the guys that can come in and play. You know what I mean? You need. It's going to take a while to build a roster that Caleb Williams can compete for Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Well,
it's going to take a while for him to have a roster where you say he's a Super Bowl contender, or the Bears are. You know what I mean? You don't just put a Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning threw the most interceptions of all time for a rookie quarterback. Before that, Brett Favre had thrown the most for a rookie quarterback. Oh no, it was Troy Aikman or whatever. Or it was Brett Favre and then it was Troy Aikman or whatever. Some of the greatest have done that, right? They've been rookies and thrown the most interceptions.
Well, you're kind of jumping a step from what I'm looking at right there. I totally agree with you on the absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to take a couple years. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm
talking about just getting to where, you saw the first signs of Josh Allen, right? I mean, Josh Allen was a developmental quarterback. I feel, hands down, most analysts believe that Josh Allen was at the time. Okay, you go back to that year he was drafted. They're like, okay, this guy's good. He's got a strong arm, but they think they can develop him into a good quarterback. Caleb Williams came out to be more of a finished product that they thought that he was. Yeah, he needs some development, but like all quarterbacks. But this guy is more of the real deal. He's a less of a miss, right? So he's coming out. Which regardless, you get to the NFL, though, everything changes. It's all over. You got to prove yourself again. But this is the whole thing. Is I think this is year 3 for Williams. This is 2 or 3 for him.
Yeah, but it's his second or third coach.
Yeah, so
this
which
is the
is
coach
tough.
they're going to stick with, though. This is
That is a big thing. So we're going to see how they grow up throughout the year. But the NFL is built to have major changes within a couple years. I mean, you're one of the worst teams. You get the first picks in the draft. You get the first options to pick up player options when they get released from teams. You usually have a better salary cap. Like everything's built for the NFL. And I think that's the fun part about the NFL, that you have so many teams that make the playoffs that don't make it the next year, and the other teams make it into the playoffs. And you only have a few of those teams that stay up there at the top. And that's why it's never been done with it. It's been close, but won 3 in a row, like in basketball. You can't just get a couple of players and roll it like that. And so that's the fun part of it. So I feel, now outside of the coaches, I think that is a major issue of switching. So hopefully this is the right coach for them. But it does have habits. The Cardinals have been in those habits. The Browns are in those habits. I mean, you've got these teams that continue to find ways not to be good, to stay at the bottom. And if the Bears are winning 7 or 8 games this year, I think that's a success. And that's what I'm talking about seeing growth. But if they're at 3, 4, 5 wins, I think they're way more talented than what people believe. If you look about who they've been drafting.
I think the Bears are a 7 to 9 win team this year.
Yeah. I mean, the only problem is they faced the Vikings, Packers, and the Lions twice a year. And that could essentially be 6 losses. They can win one or if they can win 2 of those, I think that's a very big success for them. So I guess maybe 6 or 7 games would be acceptable for him too this year. I don't know what you think, but it's going to be tough for him. And I don't really believe in Caleb Williams that much, even though I do like USC. But I don't
USC
know
is
if
my
he's got the right
sneaker
mentality.
pick to win the national championship this year.
What's that?
USC. That's my sneaky pick to win the national. I mean, I think Ohio State wins the national championship this year.
Mm-hmm.
But USC is my little sneaky pick. I think they can win the national championship.
I'm gonna remember that. I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy with that. Definitely. Yeah. That's pretty good.
I'm not like you. I don't like West Coast teams, even though we grew up in the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like USC. I've always hated them. But I'm telling you, this USC team this year, I'm sold. I'm buying in. I'm bought in.
Yeah. Well. The Cowboys took the lead. That was ugly for the Cowboys to start the first half.
Yeah. We'll see, though. See if they can hold on to it. And that's the thing. You got Russell Wilson and Malik Neighbors.
The Bears just had a 4th and 34. They had a punt. Wow. Didn't see that. Go ahead. Yeah, Neighbors. He's really good.
Yeah, he's already got one or 2 touchdowns this game.
Yep. I mean, he's probably was the best coming out of the draft that year as a rookie. I mean, Marvin Harris had a good amount of touchdowns, decent amount of yards. He had a much better year than what people thought for the Cardinals. But Neighbors definitely won that. But I think that's going to flip this season. But
yeah.
Well, you want to do a little Cardinals chat or no?
Yeah, no, that's what I was trying to get to was what do you think? They're playing the worst team in the league this year. So
sure looks like it, We'll find out. I mean,
until they get rid of that quarterback. I I mean, I got 15 backup quarterbacks better than their starter.
Yeah, that quarterback. He's a weird quarterback because sometimes he does really good. When he played the Cardinals and beat the Cardinals last year, towards the end of the year, he looked like a legitimate quarterback.
Justin Fields just got hurt. He's going to the locker room.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Bills are in trouble, my boy. Tyrod Taylor's coming in the game.
Nice. I like that. Ooh, Jags might score. Jags are looking pretty good.
Oh, Ravens just scored. 27-10, it looks like it's going to be.
Oh, nice. So, yeah, I think.
Second and 14.
Well, some people may not know the Panthers have been the Cardinals' kryptonite for like number of years. The Cardinals have only beat the Panthers like 1-4, like the last 4 meetings. What's that?
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, that is embarrassing. And
don't say that. That's not okay to say. Just kidding.
But this is the thing. The Cardinals got this handled. This is going to be a blowout. They're going to take it. I tell you why. There's a lot of different reasons why the Cardinals are going to take care of this. First of all, I could ask you a few questions. Okay, is this a game in the playoffs?
No.
Okay, Cardinals lose that game. Is this a game to get into the playoffs?
No.
Is this a game in December when getting into the playoffs is important? No, it's not. Those are all the times when the Panthers beat the Cardinals, when there's a little bit of pressure. See, the thing about Kyle Murray and the Cliff Kingsbury, I know he's not here anymore, but this whole era that came in, it's always been you do pretty good the first half of the season and then you buckle under pressure.
Who is the Cardinals coach right now?
Oh, Jonathan Gannon. I like him. He's good. He was the Eagles defensive coordinator when they lost in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Excellent coach. I like what he preaches. He wants to be physical. He wants to be into a blood sport type coach. He believes in discipline, accountability. He tries not to get up or down too much. He's a very energetic coach, but you don't see that sometimes with him. But he is very upbeat. He's got a lot of energy. I believe he was a cornerback that got hurt in college. So he was a decent player. Not that doesn't matter much, except for he's been around players, so he knows how to act in the locker room. And he's been coaching for a while. So I like what he brings to the table. Yeah, he's got to produce this year. It's year 3. He's got to show that next step, which I think he's going to. But I think the Cardinals have got this handled because, first of all, it's the beginning of the year. Kyle Murray's going to play good. Last week, he had the flu right before the game, and he still was able to pull out a win. And I think the real hinge-pin with this, Daniel, there's a couple things. Cardinals invested a lot of money and draft picks into that defense. Now, their first-round pick isn't there. He's out for like 5 weeks or 6 or whatever that is because of a calf injury, which he was looking good in training camp. But they've got their first-round pick from last year that was picked along Marvin Harrison that came out of Missouri that is there, plus Josh Sweat coming over. I mean, they got that defensive end, I'm trying to think of his name, from Denver. Not real known, but he is a good quality starter. So the Cardinals now have quality starters across the board on both sides. And they have depth. And that defense, I know a lot of people say, well, they invested all this money and only got 1 sack last week. Last week, the game plan, that guy was getting the ball out of his hand 2.5 seconds. It's hard to get to the quarterback, so they only rushed 4 last week. They'll probably have the same thing this week and make Trey Lance. That is the quarterback, right? Trey Lance for the Panthers?
No, Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. That's what I meant. Yeah. Bryce Young. They're gonna probably do the same thing. They're gonna try to get out of his hand early. Carl's probably gonna rush 4. There's not gonna be a big sack, I don't think, unless they confuse him. I think they will get a couple sacks, but not too many. And then I also feel that the Cardinals are going to be actually a really good team this year. And I don't feel like they're going to buckle under pressure as much. because of one man. And I know you're probably thinking, who's that guy? Who do you think I'm talking about?
Kyler Murray?
No.
The receiver.
I think there's one guy that's changed the identity
Marvin
of the
Harrison
Arizona Cardinals.
Jr.
And he reminds me of Josh Allen, actually. The same mold. The same mold of a guy. Doesn't play the same position. But the same mold. No.
I'm not sure who you're talking about. You have to tell me.
Highest paying tight end in the league.
Oh, yeah, I forget his name, though. You have to remind me.
Oh my gosh, Daniel.
Miami just went back up 27-23. Jags up 27-24 now.
Wow. So Trey McBride,
yeah.
Trey McBride is top 5 tight end in the league. Could be top 3. He might actually be the best tight end in the league right now. I know people are like, what? You've got some of the other ones, but they're getting a little bit past their prime. The body of work, the Hall of Fame resume absolutely is not, probably even top 5. But right now, this year, I think he's be able to make that statement. But Trey McBride is somebody that I think has inspired everything. So first of all, they had to get that defense better, so they did. That was regardless. Guys like Budda Baker, as much passion as he has, he couldn't do enough on that defense to make a big enough difference. They got the players, the defense right there. That better defense is probably going to spell 3 or 4 more wins for them this year. And on the other side of the ball, I until Kyler Murray proves it to me, he's going to go downhill after the bye week. Every year, that's the worst thing that happens to the Cardinals. Even with Jonathan Gannon last year, it's like they take it off and they decide not just to lose that next bye week game. They lose like 3 or 4. I mean, they had the division wrapped up last year, and they just started losing the teams for no reason. So, but I think the biggest thing goes back to Trey McBride, and this is the thing. I think Marvin Harrison was looking over at Trey McBride and thinking coming in that he's kind of the alpha, he's a quiet guy, but he's looking over at Trey McBride and going, okay, dude, that's a stud. That's the guy I want to be like. Dude, he's physical. He'll block anybody. He'll catch anything. He'll inspire the crowd. He'll do everything he has to do to get this team going. And so just like when Josh Allen runs the first down, right? And he's pumping everybody up and running and doing all these things. He physically is somebody that inspires the other guy by what he does on that field. I think Harrison looked over and said, how do I be like that? And I think he just looked back at him and goes, you're a stick. You're a twig. You can never be like me. So Marvin Harrison gets in the gym. Have you seen Marvin Harrison? I'm not Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison. I'm thinking his dad.
Yeah. We saw him in the press conference in the preseason. Yeah. Dude looked stat. He looked like he looked like Dwight Howard.
I mean, he does. Now he's got guns.
Like rolling,
So I know that first game, somebody's looking across and going, hey, when did Antoine Bolden get back on that team?
Seahawks putting it down on the Steelers, up 14 now.
Yeah, I figured. I mean, Rodgers had more.
Dude, listen, this is my thing. I still think the Vikings should have kept Sam Darnold. They should have let J.J. McCarthy sit another year.
You know what? Let's talk about that in just a second, because that's something I did want to talk about. That exact thing that you're talking about. Let me finish this about the Cardinals. I'll be done with the Cardinals.
Yeah, finish the Cardinals. And here's the important thing about the Cardinals, though, Jared, that we need to know out of you.
Okay.
6.5-point favorites. Are they winning by 7 or more?
They're winning by 14 or more.
Put
it down in the book. I put 9.5, but at the worst. So I guess it would become. I think it's going to be a blowout because
if it's not, we got some issues with the Cardinals. That's the way I feel.
Yeah. You'll have some issues, and you'll see the growth.
If the Cardinals lose, if the Cardinals, I don't mean cover, but I'm just saying if the Cardinals lose this game, we gotta take a step back on the Cardinals.
Daniel, that's like the Bills losing to the Jets with the score where it's at in the time of the game. It's just not going to happen. It ain't going to happen. And I'm telling you, I mean,
feel you.
People are laying across
But even Achilles
Marvin
had a heel,
Harrison.
right?
What?
But you were
Even-
talking about the Panthers, and I said even Achilles had a heel.
Yeah, even he has a heel, but there's look, dude, this ain't happening. I mean, because Marvin Harrison right now is Antoine Bolden on the other side with
Here you
his
go.
physique. He's there to bust people up. And so then you're looking at, and I know people are like, well, who's the other receiver? Hey, it doesn't matter. The other receiver is Trey McBride. They got two legitimate options. And then you look at it and you go, wait a minute. What about their running back, Connor? I mean, Connor's a beast, underrated running back, right? He stiffs our people better than anybody in the league outside of the guy on the Ravens now. The big guy that was on the Titans, that running back. But Connor, James Conner,
Right, Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry. Outside of Derrick Henry, he's got the best stiff arm in the game. And he plays hard, physical. Look for him to have, I'd say 100 yards today, but I'd say probably over 75 yards today. He's going to have an excellent game running the ball. And look out behind him because he's got a guy coming with him. They're good friends, good chemistry in the locker room. But the guy out of Florida State, Benson, I think it is, man, this guy is a beast. And it's not a big gap between them. They got two very, very good running backs that are going to run over you. So they're very physical. So now they have four legitimate weapons on that offense. Not talking about Kyle Murray, where he wants to run a little bit more and use some of that. So Kyle Murray's got his issues. Like he took a couple sacks last game only because he just ran out of bounds or slid underneath, when he could have thrown it away. He's got some mental issues with his game. I think that's the biggest problem with this game. But it doesn't really come out until teams really get the game plan towards, November, December, when these games get tight and the pressure gets high. So I don't think that would be a huge issue. I hope he improves. With this new coach. So I think that's fine. But I think the Cardinals are just going to, and it all started with Trey McBride. I mean, that guy is going to be has re-identified who the Cardinals are going to be. Go ahead.
Yeah, before we get into the Sam Darnold thing, a couple quick things. First of all, Cowboys are losing again.
Yeah.
Second of all, Jaguars, which not unexpected. I like the Jaguars to beat the Bengals today, but they did lose Joe Burrow. I don't think he's come back into the game. I don't know, but they are winning 27-24 and driving.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of things. I think Travis Hunter is like every century, right? Century's 100 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Century, you get a few athletes that transcend, right? Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, Jim Thorpe. I mean, you have certain guys that just transcend.
Yes.
I think Travis Hunter is one of those guys. I think he is. And,
you know what?
And I think, and yes, he's a rookie, but I have a hot take I've been talking about all this year on this podcast this year. If Trevor Lawrence can't get it done this year, I mean, I'm talking about either playoffs or at least 9-10 wins this year. Or, I mean, yeah, at least probably 9 wins or more. Then maybe it's time. Like, I'm just saying, if they win 5 games this year, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The team that they have now with Trevor Lawrence, you got Brian Robinson Jr., whatever, you got Travis Etienne, you've still got a solid defense. They're beating the Bengals. They're probably gonna go 2-0 right now. But it somehow they set up for a bad year. I think it's time to move on for Trevor Lawrence. This is a make it or break it year for Trevor Lawrence if I'm the general manager there.
I think that's an excellent insight, Daniel. I've been thinking the same thing with Trevor Lawrence because whatever it has been, it's just not turning to wins. And it could be more than just him. So it could be good for him to break off, and it could be good for the team to break off. And they could get some draft picks, but they haven't been able to solve the problem to win with him yet. I like what you're saying. I
love
totally
what I've seen the
agree.
connection though between him and Travis Hunter. Travis is getting a ton of targets every game, which is what should be happening. And then also they're doing some commercials together, which are kind of funny. But mostly, I mean, the fact that he's throwing the ball Travis Hunter's way 10 times a game already, 2 games in, that tells me that they're on the right path. And I think they are going to be that breakout team. But like I said, if for some reason they fall flat, it's time to move on, I feel like.
I agree. I think that it's. Let me see.
I don't think they will fall foul. I don't think they will. I think it's going to be a good year, but
So Hunter's got 6 targets for 3 catches for 22 yards today.
right. And Johnson or Brian Thomas Jr., the other guys got 11 for 4 catches, but last week Hunter had like 10 or 12 targets.
Yeah, that's what I was just going back to look because I didn't see that. I don't even remember the result of their game last week.
He had 6 receptions, 8 targets, 33 yards. But it's just, Travis Hunter, the thing about him is he's not the most polished route runner, I don't feel like yet, or he's still getting into where he needs to be. But I think by the end of this year, man, that connection should be lighting up. I mean, I think we're gonna see a 3 or 4 touchdown game out of Travis Hunter this year. I do.
Maybe so. What's his speed like? I mean, I know he's really athletic.
Dude, he's like I said, and the thing about when I say that he's a once in a century athlete, it's his body type. Guy's never gonna get tired. He's fast as the wind. He's strong. He has that Bo Jackson kind of body, not Bo Jackson literally, okay, not even close, but he has that Deion Sanders body type, right? He has a body type where it's like this dude ain't never getting tired. He's faster than you. He's better than you. He's stronger than you. He can cut faster than you. He's got more quickness than you. You know what I mean? Like, he can play running back, cornerback, wide receiver. Like he can play tight end. I mean, he can do all of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm an offensive coordinator, man, my brain, I'm up all night thinking of stuff I could do with Travis Hunter all night long. I probably wouldn't sleep the entire year. My brain would just be like on full speed for like 12 months. What else can I do with this guy,
Yeah, I'm curious. I didn't watch him in college. I mean, he got a lot of praise. A guy that can play both sides of the ball. I mean, I mean, he sounds like a legitimate guy. And those guys, when they come in the
Jaguars just got an interception.
Oh,
and
wow.
they're on the 12-yard line, so they're probably about to score again. But again, it's not Joe Burrow. He's out of the game,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's what are the Bills just? Oh, wow. The 3rd and 4. Now they're on the red zone. Also, they did. Man, Taylor, he's going to score on the Bills. Maybe.
No, Tyrod Taylor, man. A lot of them. I got Bills minus 13.5 all day. I don't know why Vegas thought the Bills were a 6.5-point favorite.
I saw that. I saw that. I laughed. I mean,
I bumped them up to minus 13.5.
Yeah,
At plus 240. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I saw that too. I mean, maybe because the Jets played okay last week.
That's exactly
I don't know. And then the Bills did struggle a little bit defensively. Maybe they thought they're going to give points up, but that's the thing is again, we talk about the week 1 to week 2
and the
growth.
other thing is Ed Oliver's not in this game.
Is he with the Jets? Is he with the Jets now?
No, Ed Oliver for the Bills.
Yeah, he was drafted by the Bills. I didn't know if he switched or not, but
he's still in Buffalo. No, he had a massive game in that Ravens game last week.
Oh, gotcha.
But he got stepped on in practice.
Oh, that's why they might have given him a little bit of a point spread.
Yeah,
on
so that's part of it because he's our best defensive player. He's like our what was the guy for the Rams? The big
Donald,
guy.
Sam Donald.
No, I think you're on the right page, but no, the guy in the middle. Yeah, Darnold though, right?
Yeah,
Not
yeah. Oh, not Sam Donald.
Aaron Donald. Aaron
Aaron
Donald.
Donald. Yeah, yeah. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
yeah. So he's like our Aaron Donald. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not as good.
Nobody
sure,
was
but-
Aaron Donald, but yeah, he's
Yeah, I'm not saying he's as good, but he's that piece for us, right?
he's your linchpin in the middle. Yeah, it's
So-
amazing. You know, quarterbacks have got. I think one of the big thing is, especially the NFL evolves over the years. We want all these big pass rushers in the middle, but outside, I mean, but the interior pass rushers, that is really the name of the game in defensively right now because these quarterbacks can get these game plans where they get the ball out of their hands really fast. And then you do see more shorter quarterbacks and other things. You get that pass rush right in their face and get them going left to right. It not only, like normally every great pass rusher on the side, or you see those pass rushers that all of a sudden have like a 12 or 15 sack season, it's normally because they got a guy inside that's causing them to get off their spot and increasing their sack totals. And I totally agree with you with he's been a great draft pick for the Bills. And but that being said, this week 1 to week 2 adjustments, great teams make it. The Bills did it. Maybe people thought that the Jets would score on them because the Ravens did that, but I don't even think the Ravens come and score that many points on them week 2 to the Bills, even without Oliver. I think they made adjustments.
Who's the biggest Ed Oliver fan?
Who? His dad?
Kimball Jones.
Really?
Man, that was who that year when he got drafted. That was his number one person he wanted the Raiders to draft.
Really?
He loved Ed Oliver. Yeah. It took him a while, though. It took Ed Oliver a while to really become who he is. But every year he's gotten better. And I think even next year he'll be better than this year. Like, he's amazing. And let me just tell you, Jets did score a touchdown. But let me just tell you, of all the defensive players, maybe in history, Ed Oliver has the best defensive celebration. You ever seen his defensive celebration?
No.
It used to be just him, but now there's always like 2 guys around him. But he does this little like roping thing where he's just like roping and roping and roping. And it's because he's big, he's got horses and stuff like that. And and oh man, every time I look forward to seeing him get a sack just to see his celebration. It's so much fun. But yeah.
Is Josh Allen still in the game or are they pulling him?
I don't know. Yeah, they're probably gonna pull him. But I don't know. Hey, you know what? Cheers for my boy Tyrod Taylor. You know what I mean? I love Tyrod. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's not too bad. Yeah, I know you like him.
He should be the Panthers should have Tyrod Taylor as their starting quarterback. That would be better.
He is a quarterback. I don't think people have given him enough chance, like consistently.
He had some good years with Buffalo. He did.
He did. He did have some.
We had the worst roster in the league, and he still got us to like 9 wins.
Yeah, I think one of the problems with with him is people don't see him as the future, and so they're trying to move off of him. But they think he's good enough to win games. He's kind of like that quarterback you had Fitz for the Bills.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick, which I wish he would have gone to the Cardinals. I mean, Fitzpatrick to Fitzgerald. I mean, talk about commentary. That would have been great.
All right. Fitzmagic. Double Fitzmagic.
Double Fitzmagic. Offense is getting that defense fits. I mean, just all kinds of good stuff there. But it never happened. Should have happened. Cardinals had a chance probably to get him in free agency. I mean, I think that was back when Derek Anderson was there, which I couldn't stomach that guy.
You know
I
what
mean, probably a
the
great
best-
guy, but as far as a quarterback, he didn't have it. Go ahead.
You know what the best Cardinals thing ever was?
What?
When you guys had can't think of his first name, but when you had Cobb
Yeah.
and you guys had the corn on the Cobs.
Yep, against the Packers. Yep.
Yeah, the corn on the Cobs.
Against the Cheeseheads. Yep. That was pretty good. You
Yeah.
know, the Cardinals have had the Packers in the playoffs. Packers don't like to play the Cardinals in the playoffs. They've had some of the best games, if you go back in NFL history, have been the Cardinals and Packers in the playoffs. That one game with Palmer and Fitzgerald and shovel pass to win it. I mean, it was just nuts. I think that was even the game Aaron Rodgers threw 2 Hail Marys. You know what I mean? One out of his own end zone, and then one at a touchdown, maybe even another one for a touchdown, and they still lost. So,
and here's the thing: I was talking about the Packers, right? Earlier, the Lions, 52 points right now. 52-21 for the Lions over the Bears.
Exactly, and I wasn't going to sway one way or another.
I don't see the Packers getting 52 in a playoff game. You know what I mean?
Well, that's possible, but I also don't see the Lions scoring that much against the Packers.
Again, but I'm just saying, like, Micah Parsons came out, defense wins championships, all this stuff, but like at the end of the day, man, you've got when it gets to and here's you know why the NFL is maybe, I mean, for me and you, or at least me for sure. I mean, I romanticize the 90s, of course. That's my favorite. I thought the aughts, which is what they call the 2000s, they call it the aughts. I thought that was the worst decade probably in sports history, from 2000 to 2010. I know that the Patriots won a bunch, and that's not why. It's not about who won those years or anything. They just weren't. There was nothing exciting going on, really. The most exciting, I mean, you did have the Diamondbacks beating the Yankees in 2001.
That was big, especially with the Twin Towers and all that. Yep.
Yeah, and you had some good hockey years. I know you don't watch hockey, but I do. My Penguins won a couple years in the aughts. But they also had amazing matchups with Ovechkin and stuff like that, who's the all-time NHL scoring leader over Gretzky now. So they had to go through Ovechkin every year, and they won 2 or 3 years out of 4 or something like that. And so hockey was pretty good in the aughts, especially like towards the end there, like 2007 to 2010. So that there were some good things, but I just mean like overall that decade in sports, I feel like it didn't compare to most decades in sports, in my opinion. What's happening right now is something so phenomenal in the NFL. Like, I think the NBA is complete dog shit right now. And so I don't know how this decade's gonna stack up as far as all sports combined go. Hockey's been pretty good. Basketball has been complete shit. But the thing about the NFL right now, we're seeing something we've never seen, and I hope it's something that never goes away. We're seeing where there's 30 seconds left on the clock, and a team can go down and score a touchdown. We have never seen that. That didn't happen in the Joe Montana era or the Jim Kelly era or all these other, the Terry Bradshaw era or whatever. You know what I mean? If there's less than 2 minutes left, a minute and a half, you knew the winner of the game at that point, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
We have 21 points in a minute and a half now in the fourth quarter, right? We saw the Bills Ravens this last week. I mean, the Bills were down 15 with like 5 minutes 6 minutes left in the game, and they won the game, right?
Yeah.
Never in history have we, and that's not even super weird to us anymore. I mean, we see that with the Chiefs and the Ravens and the Bills and these teams now with these great quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they're passing it down the field and the way they're doing certain things now, it's just huge touchdown for Achane for the Dolphins just now to take the lead if they hit the extra point. But I mean, the Lions 52-20. We've got 73 points in this Lions Bears games right now. And they put the backup in. They put Tyson Bagent in. They took out Caleb Williams. But yeah, Josh Allen's out of the game, it looks like. But I mean, these games now, they're unbelievable what you can do in 30 seconds now. I mean, the Bills were going to the Super Bowl, and in 13 seconds, the Chiefs robbed us. In 13 seconds.
Yeah.
They went like 60 yards, kicked a field goal to go to the Super Bowl to beat Buffalo.
Well, you know what? And the crazy thing
had
is
4 touchdowns to one person in that game. They just picked him up off free agency again, but he slips my mind all of a sudden. He's one of my. I loved him when we drafted him, but anyways, they had 4 touchdowns to him in that game. Josh Allen played basically perfect. They took the lead with 13 seconds left, and they still lost the game. That didn't happen in any other century of football.
Well, no, it didn't. That's the thing, though, Daniel. The thing is they didn't change the rules that much. It wasn't a rule change. It was a scheme change. You know, it was just an idea that. What?
It's how they're coaching these quarterbacks now. It's how these. You know, it's kind of like, you know, the fastest mile, and I don't have this perfect. But the fastest mile went something like 40 or 50 or 60 years before being broken.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody ran the fastest mile, and nobody broke it for, I know it was like at least 40 years. It might have been 50 or 60.
Mm-hmm.
And then once somebody broke it, and I've read books on this, how it's something with the human mind. Once somebody broke that mile, it's been broken like 100 times since in like 10 years. You know what I mean? In like 10 years, it got broken 100 times, but it hadn't been broken for 40 or 50 years. So it's something in the human mind. And like I said, I've read books on this, that once people see that something is possible, then others can do it.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. Everybody is seeing that these comebacks, you got 12 seconds left, you can still win the game. People are seeing that this is possible, and now it's happening over and over and over again. And it's like they broke through the human brain, and now the human brain just keeps repeating it.
Yeah.
It's a societal thing, which is crazy.
Well, it is.
Not one person keep doing it. It's a societal thing. It's like once somebody sees it, they can do it.
Well, I'm going to give you an example, Daniel. I may have mentioned this to you before, but one of the hardest things to do in the world as coach, I think I'm one of the best coaches in the world because I coached youth girls soccer. That is like the hardest thing to do in the world. It's like herding cats. You know what I mean? If you can do that, good luck. I have a lot of empathy for all those that have to deal with that, right? But I do, right? Okay. So, but anyways, this is the thing. Is when I first started coaching, I had my daughter, and she was I thought she was pretty good, and she wanted to play soccer. So I decided, hey, we were in a small town. I started going around looking for other players. They just played in rep teams, but I knew that we couldn't compete with the best players in the country, right? And or not, and the best teams, like the bigger cities, like the Vegases, the Phoenix, the Cal, you know. And I'm a highly competitive person, so I want to help these girls win and compete. And so, and one of the things I always felt with small towns is you get players that don't get some of those opportunities. They may be a great player, but they don't get the training, the coaching, and all these types of things. But the same thing about the human brain, you have to know what you can do it. When you see somebody that's accomplished something, you're like, wait a minute, I can do that too, right? And so exactly what you were saying. So I took this team and I says, you know what? I went around, found all the most athletic kids. I put them on a team, and we went and played club soccer, which is completely different level. These traveling teams, right? Whether it's volleyball or whatever. These types of teams, there's a couple in every state, and they will annihilate every team that they face. You bring a regular rep team against.
I think we lost you. I think we lost him. Not sure what happened to Redbird. No, I'm not sure what happened to Jared. Oh, yep, we lost him here. I'm sure he'll click back in. And the Cowboys touchdown, George Pickens at the end of the game, possibly to win the game. But like we've been saying, you got 52 seconds left. And like we've been saying, it's not impossible. Let me just text him here so he knows. So it's not impossible that the Giants come back and win. Oh, here he is.
Hey, are you there?
So, yeah. I want
Okay.
you to finish your thought, but real quick, Cowboys just took a touchdown 34-30, 52 seconds left. But like we were saying, and like you're saying, it's not impossible now that the Giants still win this with 52 seconds left, and Russell Wilson, who's won a few Super Bowls.
Yeah, Russell Wilson's had a pretty good game.
He's won some Super Bowls. He can win this game in 52 seconds.
Yeah, so Russell Wilson's a guy that I've got
Yeah, you've been up and down with him.
up and down. I've never been a big fan of his. You go back even his Super Bowl years. I just without Marshawn Lynch, without that defense, he's just an average team, barely getting to the playoffs. And even with Pete Carroll, he's a good quarterback. He has been, but you go back and look at the stats. I used to look at it almost every week, being in the NFC West, and you're looking at his games: 150 passing, 170 yards passing. I mean, you would just see that highlight play at the end of the year. And granted, he was able to do that. That's why I always had a little bit of reserve, because he was able to do that special play, a number of them in the fourth quarter, and that is what set him apart. But besides that, I just couldn't put him up on that pedestal. But he's having a good game today.
I didn't bet your Cardinals, and they're already up 7-0.
Oh, I didn't realize they were already playing.
They're up 6-0.
So, wow, yeah, told you. So, but yeah, so I mean, but that's the big thing. Going back to this old soccer type thing, is I needed to know
7-0.
I took them all the way up to Salt Lake. It was the only place playing in the summer because it's too hot to play in Vegas. But I got this these teams together, or this rec team that was going to turn into a traveling team, and we went all the way up there. And I told all the parents, everybody that was involved, that we're going to get slaughtered, and we did. We lost 9-0, 9-2, then 9-1. We got outscored 27-3 in 3 games. But it told me one thing, Daniel. It goes right to your point. What are these kids capable? And are my kids athletic enough to compete? And I said, yes. I came back and I go, you know what? My kids are athletic enough. They haven't been trained. I mean, I played in college. They didn't have the background. They didn't have the coaching. So we sat and we worked. And 7 months later, we played 2 of those 3 games. Two of those three teams played in the President's Cup for a big tournament in the for the state, and we beat both of them 3-0. So that was a huge turnaround. And now we were able to compete with Salt Lake teams, Vegas teams, some California teams. So our players went to a huge jump only because I had to find out what they're capable of and train them to do that. And I think that's, I think that's the same thing, the same mentality with that coach that won with the New York Giants, that coached with the Cowboys for a little bit. Legendary coach, you know who I'm talking about? Bill Parcells.
Bill Parcells. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so you've seen the documentary on him. He's that coach that just, same thing. He goes, they play Denver, losing the Super Bowl. He's just like, man, this is terrible. And one of his mentors just said, hey, how are we going to beat those guys? And so he started working on not exactly what he had to do to beat them. And the NFL, you've got the resources to do that. It's not about propaganda. It's about winning. It's about, there's some of that, but the NFL is truly, not for long type statement for coaches, for players, for everything, whether it's injury, performance, it doesn't matter. You're like a shooting star. You got to make it happen in a short period. And very few people actually can do that. And so there's a lot of intensity there. I just love it. I think it's the most fair and competition of any sport in any league in the world is the NFL. And I felt like it's been like that for a while. Basketball, you got players that can force their own trades. It's just dysfunctional.
Well, they've got the worst commissioner in the league. That guy, Adam Silver.
He's the worst of any commissioner I've ever seen.
The Giants! The Giant! Malik Neighbors! Touchdown! We are down to 45 seconds.
Wait a minute. Dallas got 3 timeouts, 25 seconds, overtime. I'm calling it.
We got overtime possibility.
Yeah,
or another touchdown. And that's what I'm saying. This kind of stuff has never happened in the history of football. This stuff is a regular occurrence every week now.
Mm-hmm.
The human mind broke through, and now we see this. And like you say, there's 25 seconds and 3 timeouts.
Wow.
So that's what I was saying. I just said Russell Wilson's won a couple Super Bowls. This guy is capable of taking them down and getting a touchdown in 52 seconds. Guess how many seconds it took him? 27 seconds. Took him 27 seconds to go down and score a touchdown.
The first time I saw something like this that I recall, like I've seen it everywhere, but the one that stood out to me was actually that Falcons quarterback.
The Patriots game? Patriots-Falcons Super Bowl?
No, not the Super Bowl. It wasn't that. That was remarkable. That's much. Everybody's going to remember that a lot more. I'm talking about when the Falcons, I don't even remember who they were playing, but it was who was the same quarterback.
Matty Ice.
Matty Ice. He was down. He needed a field goal to win. It was a regular season game.
I remember.
And he just had 10 seconds or 14 seconds or whatever. And he drove 40 or 50 yards, got out of bounds, kicked the field goal, won the game. And I think that's where Matty Ice started coming from. But or one of the reasons. But I saw that and I was like, wow.
Matty Ice might have been the start of this whole thing. You're right. He had a whole bunch of those.
And I could never figure it out because, it just seems like
they almost threw an interception to a defensive lineman.
The Cowboys?
Yeah. Well, he tipped it up, and then I'm not sure how he didn't catch it, but.
Ooh, talking about that Cardinals game, that cornerback out of that second-round pick out of Michigan, that may be the draft, still in the draft right there. He looked good the first week. I don't know if you saw any of the stats, but he was like
No, I didn't.
the
If you know his name,
football.
I could probably remember because obviously been watching a lot of Michigan national championship. Michigan, you know what? Speaking of Michigan, I gotta say something. I was watching Michigan again this week, and that quarterback Underwood, that dude's gonna be an NFL star. Telling you right now, that dude has touch on his pass. He has velocity on his passes. He can run, like the guy in Washington, Jalen, whatever. That dude is gonna be that Underwood. I'm telling you right now, that Underwood quarterback, can't think of his first name, but from Michigan, that dude's gonna be a star in the NFL. I don't know how high he's gonna get drafted, but that dude's gonna be a star in the NFL. Right.
I think I saw that text that you sent, and
yeah, I did think that to you. Yeah, but yeah,
Cardinals just got a fumble. Oh no, they got that on defense. That's how they scored their touchdown.
No, they threw
Bryce Young fumbled it, and Zaylen Collins recovered it and returned it for a 3-yard touchdown.
Oh, okay. I guess so then.
I'm not sure what happened there.
All right, we got 5 seconds left.
So the Cardinals haven't even been on offense yet. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we're only 5 minutes into the game, but so we got 5 seconds left for this Cowboys team, and I think they're punting or something. I don't know what they're doing. They're punting. Why are you punting with? You're down 3 with 5 seconds left. Oh, they're kicking a field goal. Never mind. I was like, what the hell? 64-yard attempt to tie it.
Oh, this guy's got the leg, if I remember right. I think
why
this
don't
guy's
you try one more pass, maybe? I know it's 5 seconds. It's pretty close, but
yeah, with 2 timeouts.
And it's holy shit, he made it.
Really?
Going to overtime.
Wow. I called it.
You said he had the legs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That guy's got the leg. I had a good feeling that I would have put him at like, I don't know. 50,
Cardinals
50.
interception. Cardinals interception. You've got to dude, there's at least 15 backups in this NFL better than Bryce Young. I know you drafted him number 1. You got to. You're a bad general manager if you're not smart enough to cut somebody out. Look, I ran a restaurant for a couple of years. I'm actually running some restaurants right now. And I fired this lady one time. She came in wanting a job for a long time. She had good experience. She worked for, this James Beard Award winning grill in town that Lisa Dahl, she owns like 8 restaurants up in Sedona. She's like a James Beard Award winner. This lady was kind of a manager for her, not a general manager or anything, but kind of a little bit of a manager for her and stuff, and a hostess and stuff. She kept coming in. She kept eating at our restaurant, and she wanted to. I didn't need a hostess, and that's what she wanted to be. She's a little bit older, not super old, but maybe in her young 50s. And she wanted to be a hostess. She kept coming in and asking for a job. Finally, I had an opening for a couple of nights as a hostess,
Mm-hmm.
So she comes in, I finally hire her. It's probably not something I would have normally done, but she talked to the owner and he said something about her, and not that he never made me hire nobody. Everything was always my choice. But after he talked to me and, we do need somebody on these nights. Okay, fine, I'll hire her. So I hired her. And the first night, she was making a lot of mistakes as a hostess, right? And I
Yeah.
was walking her through. Understandable. It's fine. I mean, not necessarily understandable for the experience she has, but so what? Who cares? It's not a big deal if you make mistakes on your first night, right?
Mm-hmm.
She kept making mistakes. And then one time she made a mistake and she blamed the owner for it. The owner was there that night cooking steaks out on the grill and stuff outside. And she blamed him for like a couple mistakes. Oh no, he told me to seat this way or to do this or to do that. And I was like, I already knew she was lying because I was like, no, the owner would have never said that because I run things the way the owner wants things run, you know what I mean? Or the
Mm-hmm.
way we agree on things. Sometimes, he agrees to doing things my way or whatever, but we agree on running things a certain way, and I know he wouldn't say something like that.
Yeah.
And so just for the sake of, just to give her the benefit of the doubt, I asked the owner, and he was like, I haven't even talked to her. I don't know what she's talking about. And I'd been watching. He did talk to her kind of, but I mean, he said maybe 4 or 5 words to her. He didn't talk to her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was, and that's the same thing he said. Not that he didn't talk to her. He's just like, I mean, I said hi to her. And so she started blaming the owner, blaming other people. And I kept telling her, listen, stop blaming people. It's okay that you've made some mistakes. It's your first day. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine that you're making a few mistakes. I'm just trying to help you through the process of how we do things here.
Mm-hmm.
Please do not blame other people for what for the mistakes you're making. Okay.
Yeah.
And she just kept doing that and kept doing that. So I called her the next day and I fired her. She worked for me one total day.
Mm.
And you know what happened?
What?
She started texting me, telling me what a bad manager I was, asked me if I'd read these books like Leaders Eat Fast and all these different leadership books. And I screenshotted my Audible and I'm like, yeah, I've read Leaders Eat Last. I've read this other leaders book and this other one.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've read all the books you're talking about. And she was like, okay. And then she would just kept belittling me and then saying, well, you should hire me back. You should hire me back. She'd tell me what a piece of shit I was, and then she'd say, you should hire me back, which makes no sense to me. Anyways, eventually it got to the point I blocked her number because she just kept on and on and on, right?
Yeah.
She started texting me from another person's phone. Started texting me the same stuff. How I'm a bad manager, but how she wants to work here. Why does she want to work here from a bad manager? You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Anyways, Cardinals got a pass interference on the 1-yard line. But anyways, so then I blocked that phone number. She starts texting me from a third phone. The same rhetoric.
Mm-hmm.
I had to block that number. So I was clearly right to fire her because the girl was batshit crazy. Right? So like I clearly made the right decision. She's the only person I fired after one day, but I knew after one day I had to get rid of her, and clearly I was correct. And that's the same thing with Bryce Young. You've got to be smart enough to know this ain't your guy. You know what I mean? You've tried 3-4 years now. You've been on the worst team in the league every year he's been there. You benched him for half a year. He came back and had an okay last couple of games. He won a few games, but they were garbage games at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've got to be smart enough as a manager, a general manager, to know somebody isn't the person.
Well, Well,
I'm
I,
saying.
I agree, and I think sometimes it's harder because I actually, as big of a Cardinal fan I am, and big of a Kyle Murray fan I am, I think that's the same thing that you're looking at because
But Kyler
you
Murray's much better, so
he is.
I
He's
get that
much
a little
better,
bit.
but he does such great things. Like last year, he's in the MVP conversation after the first like 5, 6, 7 games of the season, right? He's right up there with the Josh Allens and these other, maybe not in some people's minds, but he's at least being mentioned, right? And
Right.
then, but everybody knows he's going to fade. That's why nobody puts much credit to it. And they know that the Cardinals aren't going to win enough games to put him in that situation. But he's in the conversation, and then he falls out of it. And every year, you're just like, there's the yeah, but. And can he be that guy? But then who can you go get to be good enough to replace him?
Right.
And you can't find that guy. And so it's very, very, very difficult. When you get guys like the skill set, like a Josh Allen,
But
or
since
Lamar,
but here's the thing, Jared. Since he's been the quarterback, they've had the number 1 draft pick like 3 times.
yeah,
Since they've been
exactly.
the worst team in the league.
Oh, you're talking about the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm talking about Bryce
Yeah,
Young.
yeah. So the Panthers is like the same thing, but even worse. Like it's even more obvious. And I think
Yeah,
the
that's
only
right.
thing,
No, the whole time I've been talking about the Panthers.
no,
I've
no,
been
I know. What I'm saying is the tough one is when you get a situation like Kyle Murray. When you
Yeah,
get
that's
even
you're right
further,
because you're stuck because you keep winning 9 or 10 games. You know, the Bills had that problem for over a decade. They
yeah,
were the Bills have only in their history had one number 1 draft pick ever, and that was Bruce Smith.
yeah,
That was the only ever number 1 draft pick. And so the Bills went years and years in that 9-7, you know, being 9-7, 8-8, and they couldn't draft a quarterback. And like you say, that's the problem with Kyler Murray. It's like, you know,
I'm not sure what just happened, but Kyle Murray took a tackle for 2-yard loss. I'm guessing he had one of those where he just did throw it out of bounds, or
they had scored a touchdown, and then there was a penalty.
oh,
But it's 4th
So-
down. I guess you guys can kick a field goal. But what just happened? Russell Wilson's coming out. I don't know if the Eagles must have punted. So Russell Wilson's got a chance to win the game right now.
mm.
I'm in the Survivor League, and 2 people have the Cowboys. So I'm hoping the
the
Giants
Giants with
win.
it. Oh, I see why you're pretty excited.
Well,
You know-
I hate the Cowgirls. They beat us in 2 Super Bowls. So
Yeah.
my Buffalo Bills. So Malik Neighbors with a huge first down already. But yeah, I mean,
But it actually, the whole
the
conversation.
Cardinals are in a very tough situation. But
But
the Panthers, there's no excuse for the Panthers not.
No,
having
there's no
a
excuse.
quarterback right now.
But there is a couple underlying things of why I see why the decision making is differently, and it all goes back to your boy Taylor, whatever his name is, right?
Tyrod Taylor, yeah, you got it.
He fits the same mold, Daniel. Same mold.
Yeah, you're gonna win games with them, but you can't.
You're
as
gonna
far
win,
as
and you
Kyler
can move on. The only difference is he's not a high draft pick, and
Yeah.
the Cardinals of the 3, Kyle Murray's the best, but the Cardinals.
Right.
They hitched their wagon to him. That was the whole thing, and
Yeah.
they paid a lot of money. You can't really get out of him right now, so I understand with that, and I like him. I still believe in him. I think it's gonna happen for him. But on the other side, what did the Panthers give up? I mean, they give up all those picks to get him, and then they get the first round pick, and it goes to the Bears, and then the Bears get Caleb Williams, which they think's a better prospect anyways, which he may or may not be that big of a difference either. But at the time, it's like everybody gets fired, everybody gets restarted, all this stuff. They've given up so much for this guy
For who?
that for the Carolina Panthers.
Bryce Young came way before the other guy, the Bears guy.
No. He did, but they traded their draft picks for the next year.
Oh yeah, they could have
To
had
get him. They
Yeah.
traded up in the draft to go get Bryce Young. So they gave up all this
Yeah.
capital to get a guy they probably could have got anyways in the draft. Didn't even pick the best guy out of all the quarterbacks. And then they win the first round draft pick for the next year, only to find out that the Bears are going to get it because they already traded it away. So, I mean, it just got worse and worse.
Well, this is
So,
like year 5
I
for Bryce Young.
no go look at it though. Look at all the stuff happened. It's because of the trade. So they didn't get the first round. So they won the first round pick, but it went to the Bears. First overall pick of the whole draft. So I've never seen somebody of all the things that have happened. If you illuminate everything, there's never been a worst draft selection in NFL history. I know people are saying, "Well, what about the guy that came from LSU that went to
Marcus Russell.
yeah, that's what everybody stands out." But that's when you look at all of the things that have happened.
The worst
traded up. You traded up. You took him. Then you gave up, in essence, the number 1 pick of the NFL draft and other pick, like everything that's gone around all of that. So emotionally, Daniel, you have so much tied to this guy that it's hard to get off of him. It's hard to jump ship. That's the only reason that I can see, and that's not an excuse. Like a real businessman is going to say, "Hey, no, you're not cutting. You're gone. Like we have to clean this up, clear the books, start over."
Right.
But it's just like you made a $10,000 bet, and that bet's down to worth $100, and you're looking at it going, "I could cash out for $100, but I can't." And $100 is a lot more money than $0, but I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like they just can't physically seem to do it, and they need a guy that can do it. And until they have that guy, the Panthers are never going to move on. And I think if it was Tyrod Taylor was there, he would have already been gone. They would have already moved on, and they would have had an issue. But they have given up so much for this, they don't want to admit that they screwed up. And yeah, I just think that's it. I can't think of any other reason.
Yeah. Can you hold for 1 minute? I need to use the restroom. So
Hey, can I join your conversation a little bit later? Would that work?
Yeah, I mean, actually, I think I'm gonna end this podcast here in a minute, anyways, because I just do the morning games. But
okay.
But yeah, maybe I'll just do that in the podcast. I don't know where he went, but anyways, thanks for Jared for coming on. I'm sure we'll continue the conversation on the phone. Get him on next week, hopefully. We did win our bet, right? This was our live bet today. So we're 2 weeks in a row. Last week we had a 3-teamer. This week just a 1-teamer. But still, we are 2-0 on our live bets. We're gonna keep continuing on, and as always, guys, let's make some money. Let's have some fun doing it.